After my grandfather passed away, I traveled to the capital to seek refuge with my fiancé. I heard he was proud and arrogant, and already had someone else in his heart, and that he utterly despised me, his fiancé from the countryside. I made the journey with a heart full of anxiety, only to realize the rumors were false once I met him. He was clearly a man of integrity, gentle-tempered, and exceptionally handsome, not to mention how deeply he cherished and respected me. With my heart at ease, I married him. 3 months into our marriage, my nephew returned to the capital from his studies to pay his respects, only to stare at me in a daze. Later, I caught him confronting my husband, his face filled with utter disbelief.
Second uncle, how could you impersonate me and marry my fiancé?
Before my grandfather passed away, he held my hand and told me that I had a childhood betrothal.
He was the second son of the Lu family from Jiangdu, named...
Before he could utter the name, the old man gasped heavily and suddenly passed away. I was overwhelmed with grief. Half a month after settling my grandfather's funeral, I set off for the capital with our betrothal token. My grandfather once served in the Imperial Academy of Medicine. As he grew older, he resigned and returned to his hometown, opening a clinic to make a living, because he had saved my young fiancé's life. This marriage was arranged. Grandfather never managed to clarify his name, but I remembered he was the second son of the Lu family from Jiangdu. It shouldn't be hard to find him. Moreover, before he passed away, my grandfather had forced himself to send a letter to the Lu family of Jiangdu. Before setting off, I also wrote a letter, clearly stating my expected arrival time, and telling the second son of the Lu family to make sure to send someone to meet me at the docks. Without fail, in the letter, I had hesitated for a moment, and circled those 2 words. Otherwise, I wouldn't recognize anyone. What if I got lost? After boarding, I gazed out at the river, feeling the breeze. I was feeling quite at ease, until I overheard 2 men talking behind me.
Have you heard? That country fiancé of Second Master Lu is coming to the capital to find him. Second Master Lu.
I looked down at myself. A country fiancé? Could it be such a coincidence? The other person asked curiously.
After all, Second Master Lu is a scion of a noble family. How could he be engaged to a country girl?
Supposedly, it was arranged because of a long-standing family connection. Who knows what she looks like after all these years?
That country girl is bound to return home disappointed. Not to mention that Second Master Lu already has Jiang Qingfan by his side. Growing up in the countryside, she's probably unsightly, brawny, and ill-mannered. The proud Second Master Lu would certainly never spare her a glance.
I couldn't bear to listen further, so I gave them a sharp glare and turned to leave.
Miss,
Hurried footsteps followed as the 2 of them caught up to me.
may I ask, did we somehow offend you just now, miss?
My name is He Lang.
My apologies. May I be so bold as to ask your name?
Yes, and I am Chen Fangzhou.
Their eager expressions were a bit unsettling, so I quickly shut my door, locking them out. Grandfather was right. People in the outside world are indeed strange. This official ship set out from Jiangnan, heading for the capital. Those 2 were elegantly dressed and had a Yunjing accent. They are undoubtedly from the capital. Then the second Master Lu they mentioned must be my fiancé. So he despises my rural upbringing, and even has someone else in his heart. I clenched my fingers. Once I reach the capital, if I find this to be true, I will not marry him. I thought to myself resentfully. After days of tossing on the water, we finally docked. Shouldered my bundle, I stepped off the boat, and immediately spotted a flag bearing the character Lu. Fortunately, the Lu family had sent someone to pick me up. I walked toward him. Let's go. The man holding the flag seemed taken aback, staring at me blankly.
I was puzzled. Wasn't he from the Lu family? The Lu family of Jiangdu.
As if finally snapping out of it, the man asked me tentatively.
Are you Miss Xie? 我点头.
He led me to a carriage and kindly gave me a heads up.
Miss Xie, the second master, came to pick you up in person today. He has something to say to you.
Young Master Lu came in person. I froze for a moment, feeling a bit anxious. I wasn't ready to meet my fiancé face to face yet, especially since he is displeased with me. As I was lost in thought, a slender hand lifted the carriage curtain. I looked up and met a pair of cold, aloof eyes. The man in the carriage wore a well-tailored, crescent-white brocade robe. He was tall, lean, and upright, serene and noble, like a jade tree in the wind, with an indescribable air of elegance and dignity. I was momentarily dazed, nearly captivated by his striking looks, but remembering the rumors I had heard on the road, I snapped out of it. No matter how handsome and noble he looks, what good is it if he looks down on me? Sitting in the carriage, I said,
Young Master Lu, if you have something to say, please speak plainly. No rush.
Young Master Lu fixed his phoenix eyes on me, his thin lips parting to speak in a cold, deep voice.
You must be exhausted from your long journey, Miss Xie. It is best that we return to the manor first, so you can rest.
I did not refuse. As a prominent clan, the Lu family of Jiangdu was naturally wealthy. I traveled all this way just to have my engagement broken off. Am I not even allowed to enjoy some good food? But when Lu II said he wasn't in a hurry, he really meant it. I rested in his manor for 3 days straight without catching a single glimpse of him. I could only talk to the maid assigned to care for me, trying to gather some information about Lu II. The maid told me Lu II's name was Lu Hui, and was appointed by the emperor as the vice minister of the Court of Judicial Review at a young age. Such an outstanding man is almost too good for someone like me.
Then, do you know of Jiang Qingxian?
Upon hearing this name, the maid's expression changed instantly, and the way she looked at me seemed to carry a hint of pity. I instantly knew she recognized the name.
Then, what is her relationship with Lu Hui? Second Master.
Miss Jiang has nothing to do with Second Master. It's just that second young master treats her differently.
The maid continued.
Second young master is our second master's nephew.
Suddenly, I realized I had misunderstood. On the boat, those two people sounded even more displeasing than the last. He picked up a pastry and took a gentle bite. It was sweet, but not cloying. Tasting the snow pear and white fungus soup, he found it even more delightfully sweet.
Did she make all of this herself?
Yes, the kitchen staff saw her do it.
Having finished it slowly, Lu Hui pondered, select some fabrics from the storeroom and have some new clothes made for her. The attendant asked cautiously,
How many outfits does master want to make? What if the second young master is set on not returning?
Everyone in the Lu family had long known about the engagement between the second young master and Miss Xie. As a child, the second young master contracted a strange illness. The eldest master took him to seek treatment from the retired imperial physician Xie, and he stayed in the countryside for some time. The eldest master, who was fond of divination, had a sudden whim and had the birth charts of the second young master and Miss Xie matched. Finding they were a match made in heaven, he consulted no one and betrothed the second young master to her on the spot. Not long ago, elder Xie sent a letter saying he was nearing his end. With the granddaughter about to arrive in the capital to join them, the main branch of the Lu family was in quite an uproar. The eldest master insisted on keeping his promise, but the first madam and the second young master adamantly refused. Neither side would back down, and they remained at a stalemate until Miss Xie's letter arrived, making things even livelier. The letter insisted someone must come to pick her up, even emphasizing must by drawing a big circle around it. At once, the first madam and the second young master took Miss Xie for a crude and overbearing girl, and grew even more resistant to the marriage. The second young master fled to Jiangnan under the pretext of a study tour, traveling together with the Zhang family's daughter, who was visiting her ancestral home there. No doubt they will tie the knot once they return. The second young master just up and left, terrified that once Miss Xie arrived in the capital, his father would force them to wait like using a rooster to stand in for him at the ceremony. So he begged the second master for help, asking the second master to send her away for him. The second master and the second young master have been close since childhood, as they only differed by 5 years. As a child, the second young master couldn't tell uncle from brother, clinging to him constantly. Seeing him so panicky and desperate, the second master naturally couldn't refuse to help. But what was the second master actually thinking? With his usual swift and decisive style, he should have just given her some compensation and sent her away. Why did he let her move in? And now he's even getting clothes made for her. Surely he hasn't been completely captivated by her beauty. To be fair, Miss Xie's beauty is truly exceptional, a rare sight in this world. She certainly doesn't look like a girl raised in the countryside. Had the second young master delayed his departure by just a day and seen what his fiancé looked like, he probably wouldn't have resisted the marriage at all.
Have outfits made for every season, and send someone to buy some jewelry for her.
Lu Hui pondered for a moment.
The weather is getting cold. Arrange for charcoal in her room, and let her allowance be the same as mine.
The attendant withdrew, completely bewildered. Son, I only sent food once, and my fiancé already arranged beautiful clothes and jewelry for me. I took this as a sign of approval. It seems he does care about me, but he is just reserved and doesn't know how to express it. In that case, I will have to take the initiative. After that, I tried all kinds of recipes to bring Lu Hui different treats every day. Sometimes I wanted to prepare some medicinal dishes, but then I wondered if I should check Lu Hui's pulse first before doing so. Once his busy spell passed, Lu Hui started returning to the manor every day. I chose a suitable time to go over, saying I had something to discuss. Understood. After all, we weren't married yet. My fiancé was shy and introverted. Even after bringing me here for so long, he had never once come to see me on his own. Despite his words, he didn't pull his hand back, obediently letting me touch his wrist.
I reassured him. It's fine. There's no one else here anyway.
Hearing this, Lu Hui looked up in shock, his narrow eyes widening. The skin beneath my fingers felt as warm and smooth as jade, and I quickly made my diagnosis. His pulse was strong and robust. There was nothing seriously wrong. You just have a bit of excess internal heat. Some cooling tea or soup should do. As I withdrew my hand, Lu Hui called out to me.
I said earnestly.
When we are alone, you can call me Shuanghui.
Lu Hui lowered his head and coughed softly, his handsome face turning slightly red.
Shuanghui,
He called out softly, then asked with hesitation.
Have you really made up your mind?
Is there even a need to think about it? I nodded, feeling a bit puzzled. Sigh, he gets shy so easily. What will we do after we get married? But speaking of our wedding,
When shall we get married?
Have you decided yet?
I asked him. Lu Hui hesitated for a long moment.
Isn't it a bit too soon? There are still many matters left unresolved.
too soon?
Hadn't I come all the way to the capital just to marry him? He should have been prepared for this long ago. I had also heard rumors on the streets that many marriages fell through simply because they were dragged out. After a long, stunned silence, I asked him, "Do you not want to marry me?" It made sense. After all, our engagement was arranged by our elders. We had never crossed paths all these years. Not to mention that I was just an orphaned girl from the countryside. I was indeed no match for him. Before he could speak, I took out the betrothal token.
If you are unwilling, we can call off the engagement right now, and I will return this to its owner.
Lu Hui's gaze fixed on the token in my hand, a ripple of emotion stirring in his dark eyes.
Call off the engagement? Of course not.
Lu Hui's gaze deepened, his expression softening slightly.
It is only because there are many matters to attend to, and preparations still need to be made.
He gently tucked a strand of my hair behind my ear.
For our wedding, everything must naturally be prepared to perfection.
Though Lu Hui said we had to wait, the process actually moved very quickly. When I met his parents, elder brother, and sister-in-law, I obediently paid my respects to each of them. Yet I still received some strange looks. Lu Hui's parents didn't say anything, and his sister-in-law was all smiles. But his elder brother kept sighing as he looked at me. In private, I asked him,
Is your elder brother displeased with me?
Lu Hui and his elder brother had a significant age gap. I had heard the servants mention it before. They said the eldest master was originally the only son of the Lu family, but he became obsessed me to nurture his house even more. Months flew by, and soon the Lava Festival arrived. The Lu family was hosting a family banquet, and preparations began days in advance. Since our home was just a street away from the Lu Manor, I went over to help. The banquet was managed by my eldest sister-in-law, and I stood by, watching and learning. My eldest sister-in-law came from the Xie clan of Qinglang, a family of equal standing to the Lus. She is proper in every word and deed, and manages the household in perfect order. In a family like the Lus, where affairs are so complex, had Lu Hui been the eldest son, his marriage would likely never have been promised to me. Amidst our preparations, a servant suddenly arrived to report that the second young master was back. My sister-in-law, who had just been busy directing affairs, looked delighted and hurried toward the entrance. She cast a quick glance at me as she left, and I quickly followed her. Of my sister-in-law's 2 children, the eldest daughter was already married, leaving only the second young master, whom she dotes on like the apple of her eye. When Lu Hui and I married, he was away in Jiangnan and couldn't make it back, so he only sent a gift. Just as we reached the courtyard entrance, we ran into a young man in tight-fitting black attire, with his hair tied up in a high ponytail. The Los are all blessed with good looks, and the second young master, Lu Xiao, is no exception. His features were strikingly handsome, and with his lively expressions, he carried a rather dashing and free-spirited air. Upon seeing him, my sister-in-law chided him fondly. Xiao,
You are back in the capital, yet you didn't even write. I could have sent someone to the docks to meet you.
Why bother picking me up?
Lu Xiao dismissed it casually. He looked up, scanning the Lu family members. Lu Xiao suddenly asked.
How was the fiancé my father betrothed to me dealt with?
Have you forgotten, master? The servant reminded him.
Before you left, you asked the second master to send her away for you. How did second uncle deal with that country girl? This servant does not know either.
Lu Xiao fell silent, but a suspicion began to brew in his heart. Before the new year, Lu Xiao paid a visit and brought many gifts.
Second uncle and the second aunt are newlywed. As your nephew, I didn't have the chance to offer my congratulations back then. So I have come today specifically.
I wondered if there was something on my face.
Lu Xiao withdrew his gaze, his tone carrying a hint of sarcasm.
When I was in Jiangnan and heard the news of second uncle's marriage, I was wondering what kind of woman had married my second uncle. Only after meeting you do I realize second uncle indeed has a discerning eye.
I frowned. Why did those words sound so strange?
I hear second aunt is also from the Jianghui region.
I nodded.
What a coincidence! I happen to know someone who is from your hometown and also surnamed Xie.
Oh,
I responded.
that is indeed a coincidence.
What exactly is Lu Xiao trying to get at? Why is he behaving so strangely?
The second aunt have nothing to say to me.
Lu Xiao stared straight at me, looking as if
You hit him.
It's nothing.
gently taking my hand, Lu Hui spoke softly.
I just bumped into the bookshelf while trying to dodge. I'm fine.
I tried to hold back, but I couldn't. I turned to Lu Xiao and said,
He is your elder. How could you lay a hand on him?
Lu Xiao's eyes widened in disbelief.
So what if he's an elder? He was the one who did wrong first.
Even so, you shouldn't have hit him, I said coldly. Besides, what did he do wrong as far as you are concerned? You were the one who refused to marry. If he hadn't stepped in, the Lu family would have been branded as faithless and untrustworthy. Lu Hui was cleaning up the mess for you and the main branch. How do you have the face to stand here? What right do you have to question him?
Breathing heavily, Lu Xiao said angrily.
He lied to you, yet you are still defending him.
Whether he lied to me or not is my business. I haven't even pursued it yet. So what are you getting worked up about?
I said mockingly.
What? Seeing that I'm not as ugly and coarse as you imagined, do you regret it now?
Lu Xiao opened his mouth.
I, let alone the facts that he took your place and married me. Even if I had come to the capital and found my groom to be someone like you, I would never have married you.
Hearing this, Lu Xiao's face turned pale.
He gritted his teeth. Do you think I actually care about you?
That couldn't be better.
I asked him to leave.
It is getting late. Please leave, second young master.
Lu Xiao clenched his fists, trying to suppress his anger. With his jaw clenched, he strode away. I let go of the hand of the person behind me, which had secretly held mine. I glanced at Lu Hui, said nothing, and turned to return to my room.
Shuanghui.
Behind me, Lu Hui caught up. I quickened my pace, entered the room first, and closed the door.
Shuanghui.
From outside the door, Lu Hui's voice sounded low.
Could you give me a chance to explain?
I said nothing.
Lu Hui said,
Back then, Lu Xiao was unwilling to honor the marriage agreement, so he left the capital to avoid you. Before leaving, he even asked me to call off your engagement with him.
I see. No wonder it was Lu Hui who picked me up at the dock that day.
But from the very first moment I saw you, my heart was set on you. Having you stay in my residence was also out of my own selfishness. During those days, you were so forward with me. I thought you realized your marriage with Lu Xiao was off and wanted to be with me instead, which was exactly what I wanted.
Leaning against the door, I asked in return.
I was a newcomer and you didn't say a word. How could I have known about Lu Xiao's situation? Lu Hui sighed softly.
I took things too much for granted. I heard that you had asked a maid about Jiang Qingfan, so I assumed you already knew.
I was left speechless. It was a complete coincidence.
You actually had someone spy on me.
Lu Hui was silent for a moment.
It was my fault. Later, I realized you had mistaken my identity and mistook me for your fiancé, so I just went along with it and let you believe it.
That is exactly what I don't understand.
Why did you go along with it? I muttered, if you hadn't, we could have just called off the engagement. Couldn't you have gotten engaged to me yourself?
That would have worked, but it would have taken too long, and the risk was too high.
Lu Hui explained softly.
If I had helped Lu Xiao call off the engagement, you might have lumped me in with him and developed a prejudice against me.
And you would never fall in love with me.
I fell silent as Lu Hui laid out all of his calculations from back then.
If the engagement had been broken, you would have had to find another place to live in the capital, and probably find work at a clinic to make a living. By then, who knows how many unwanted suitors would be pursuing you.
Would you have chosen me? I wasn't sure.
You're right about that. That was indeed my plan.
Besides, my parents would never agree to call off their grandson's betrothal just to marry off their son. But if it were framed as keeping faith, fulfilling the contract for the first branch by substituting the groom, and since they saw me refusing to marry for so long, it would be much easier to get their consent. Besides, you've also seen how much he regrets it now. Considering that if he had returned early, it would have caused endless complications, I decided to make my move early.
He certainly thought of everything. I asked him rather testily.
Then why didn't you just tell me directly?
For the same reason, I wasn't sure.
Lu Hui paused.
You and Lu Xiao shared a childhood connection, and you were unmarried when you came to the capital. If I had told you about the substitution beforehand, you might not have agreed. After we married, I wanted to tell you, but I was afraid you'd be angry, so I kept putting it off.
I flung the door open in anger.
Some junior minister of the Court of Judicial Review you are. Do you realize this is marriage fraud?
I was wrong.
His hand grasping mine was slightly cold, his handsome eyes and brows cast down.
It was underhanded of me. You can scold me all you want, but please, just don't leave me.
Since our marriage, I had seen him dignified and refined, as well as sharp and cold. But I had never seen him play the victim like this. I finally saw through him. Lu Hui may look as noble as the clear breeze and bright moon, but he is actually like a sesame dumpling, white on the outside, but dark and scheming on the inside. Another family banquet. This time, the atmosphere felt rather delicate. When Lu Hui and I arrived, Lu Xiao was already there, talking to his mother about something. Upon seeing us enter, his voice cut off abruptly. His gaze, clouded with complex emotions, lingered on my face for a moment before darting away. When his eyes shifted to Lu Hui, they flared with unmistakable hostility and resentment. Lu Hui, however, seemed oblivious, holding my hand firmly. He greeted the elders with composure before taking his seat beside me. He naturally began serving me food and pouring my tea.
Second uncle and second aunt truly share a deep affection.
Lu Xiao spoke up suddenly, his voice laced with a subtle hint of sarcasm.
It's enough to make anyone envious.
Lu Hui looked up and cast a faint, indifferent glance at him.
If you are so envious, nephew,
Then you should settle down and establish your own family and career. Your second aunt and I are, of course, a perfect match of hearts.
a perfect match of hearts.
Lu Xiao let out a cold laugh. Though low, it was loud enough for those at the nearby tables to hear.
This mutual devotion of yours, second uncle, truly came at a most convenient time.
The sarcasm was so thick that even Father Lu couldn't help but frown.
Zhou, is that any way to speak to your second uncle?
I set down my chopsticks. I looked at Lu Xiao. He was staring at me, his eyes burning with resentment and indignation and a hint of obsession.
Do you want to do?
I pondered for a moment, a flash of determination in my eyes.
To untie the knot, we must go to the source. He simply feels that what belonged to him was snatched by me, and he cannot accept it. I'll go talk to him.
No,
Lu Hui flatly refused, tightening his grip on my hand.
I will not allow you to meet him alone.
I am not going there to argue with him, nor to beg him.
I looked at him, my tone resolute.
I am only going to tell him that I am not an object. I do not belong to him, and I never have. 他的不甘心与我无关，与你也无关。It is entirely the result of his own choices. If he continues to pester us, he will only disgrace the main branch of the Lu family and ruin his own future.
Lu Hui gazed at me for a long time, finally sighing and pulling me into his arms.
When did my Shuanghui become so formidable?
Leaning against his chest, I mumbled, "Since I was tricked into marrying you."
I can't always let you shield me all by yourself. Besides, when dealing with a spoiled young master like Lu Xiao, reasoning with him might not work. Sometimes, a more direct approach is needed.
I had a servant send word, arranging to meet Lu Xiao at the pavilion in the Lu family garden. It is relatively open here, less likely to draw gossip, and quiet enough. When I arrived, Lu Xiao was already there. He stood with his back to me, tall and upright, yet exuding a gloomy aura. Hearing my footsteps, he turned around. Seeing that I was alone, a flash of surprise crossed his eyes, which was instantly replaced by mockery.
What brings second aunt here to meet her nephew alone today? Aren't you afraid that second uncle might misunderstand?
Ignoring the Sangyi's words, I sat down opposite him and got straight to the point.
Second young master, let's be entirely frank. Your actions today are entirely pointless and only make you look ridiculous.
Lu Xiao's face darkened.
What do you mean?
It's simple.
I looked at him calmly.
I, Xie Shuanghui, have never been your possession. Our engagement, from the moment you chose to leave the capital and asked your second uncle to get rid of me, was already dead in all but name. In fact, you could say you ended it with your own hands. Lu Hui took over to resolve the trouble, but also to follow his heart. His methods might not have been entirely above board, but he never wronged you. You were the one who broke the promise first. I was only...
Lu Xiao tried to defend himself, but I cut him off.
No matter your reason for leaving back then, the fact remains that you gave up. Now that I am married to Lu Hui, we are lawfully wedded husband and wife. And your current pestering, is it to question your second uncle, or to question the Lu family's values? Or do you simply feel that something you look down upon should not be claimed by anyone else, especially when that person is your second uncle, whom you have always feared and respected?
My words struck his face like a whip. His face turned from red to pale, his lips pressed tightly together.
Lu Xiao, you are no longer a child. It is time to take responsibility for your own choices. Your resentment is your own business. Don't use it to disgust others. If you dare to use those underhanded tricks again,
Wise and courageous.
Embarrassed by his laughter, I gave him a playful punch.
I learned it all from you.
As they say, one takes the color of one's company. After spending so much time with this sweet yet scheming husband of mine, I too have learned to be a bit calculating and firm.
But you're right.
Lu Hui's smile faded, and his tone turned serious.
This needs to end. I will have a talk with my brother and sister-in-law.
I didn't ask Lu Hui for the details of his conversation with his brother and sister-in-law. All I knew was that after that, the eldest branch of the Lu family became completely quiet. Lu Xiao seemed to have been placed under strict restraint, never coming to cause trouble again. Even when we occasionally crossed paths in a Lu manner, he would sweet yet scheming nature.